Jesse, a much shorter recovery time before Chile. What has to go into rest and recovery now while also balancing preparation?
Yeah, look, we gave them yesterday off and made it a full regen day where they were in the pool, they were doing some things in the gym, they were on their own. Um, and then today we made it also a light day for the guys who've been putting in major minutes, but we made it a heavy video day. So, you try to mix up physically how to get the most out of them and then mentally how to prepare them the best. Yeah, and I think in the end, their eagerness to learn and improve has impressed me and been fun to work with. So even if I get caught in a little bit longer video session because we're getting through some important points that maybe longer than I'd want, I trust that their attention span and attention to detail is still at a very high level. So, yeah, we're going to have to physically and mentally and psychologically in every way turn around and know that this game against Chile is massive and even bigger than the last matches we've played.
I'll get to that, but the one thing I noticed about this team, as monumental as the accomplishment was, as the moment was, I didn't see them overindulge in it. What did you see in the locker room? What did we not see as a Canadian public about what this moment meant to the team and how they balance that excitement with the work they have ahead?
Well, I think the part of it was at the end of the match there was just complete exhaustion, right? Like they had invested everything they had in it. And that's what it takes to get big victories at the international level. And, I think that they know that it was an important win, but I think their goal in their mind is set on getting out of the group and then going on from there. So that's what I would attribute to their concentration and focus in the moment is more on we want to keep going.
I asked you before the tournament started what you want to see out of your team when they have an advantage. Well, you guys have an advantage now. Your destiny is essentially in your own hands. But Chile has so many savvy veterans who've won this competition before. What do they present that's different than Peru?
Well, Peru's a bit more combative, although Chile is very combative. But Chile's a better football team. They have good players, like you mentioned. They can move and have mobility and have clever ways of putting little combinations together. Even when you watch the Argentina match, at one point it's 13-0 in shots, but then the next three chances that come Chile's way are all almost goals. And so it's a type of team that if you put your guard down for 1 second and if we're tactically not clever and connected in the right way, they can expose you. So this will be a similar challenge in terms of like making sure that with the heat and the type of opponent in terms of combativeness that we're up for it, but it's also a tactically very important match because of the way that they play and the quality of players that they have.
What can you say about the way that Maxime Crepeau has played with this opportunity to be the number one, but also in that moment when he sees the linesman to kind of remove himself from an important moment and run over there? What does that say about the mental makeup of your starting goalkeeper?
I mean, this was incredible. I said of all the saves he made, the most important one was to help the referee, right? And so, he's a high character person. He's a very mature professional. And I think he sees the moment in so many ways. And I've challenged him to do a few things differently and take him outside of his comfort zone. Like I'm doing with all of them, really. Some of them from leadership perspective, some of them from style of play perspective, some of them from aggressiveness and fitness perspective. And they're all responding with everything they have. And Max has been one of the best examples of trying to put to practice the challenges that I've given him. So I think the goalkeeper goalkeeper coach has done a really good job with him. I think that Dane and their relationship is really strong and they support each other in a good way. But certainly Max is in a really, really, really good form, that's for sure.
As we talk about finally the progression of this team and always building towards 2026, how monumental is the opportunity to get out of the group? Knowing the opponent that you have ahead of you, knowing their tournament winning experience, but also knowing how this team has really grown through the last month you've had them. How critical and pivotal is this moment?
Yeah, I think so I said to him before the match that we'd been together for 26 days basically. And I feel like in all of those 26 days that the guys have tried to maximize the potential of what we're trying to create. Really. I really feel like that. And that they needed to reward themselves. They needed to have a performance to put a stamp on what the work has been like. And so I think they did that. And what it does is it puts bigger challenges around the corner. And that's what I want too. I want them to continue. I want them to never be satisfied. I want them to continue to try to improve. I want them to grow and get better and be more connected and better leaders and better players and more fit and everything. And so, you know, that's what this game will require. I think it will require an even better performance from us and even more savviness and more clarity and you know, from every individual and from the collective as a whole.